that something was going on, and it wasn't, something in your head,
It started, not continuous. It started like maybe once or twice a week when I was sleeping. I'd be hit. I'd feel my brain cooking a little bit, and then I'd feel this rush of energy, and then it went away for a while. Then it went to a daily basis in April of last year, starting, and it hasn't stopped since. And I moved. This started in Ohio, by the way.
So you've tried to move away from this, right?
Oh, yes. And it didn't take them long to.
Can you function?
I'm on disability right now. From an unrelated condition.
Okay.
A physical condition, by the way. I have no mental issues whatsoever. But I just wanted people know that this is happening, and it's hard to imagine unless you've been experienced this, what it's like. I don't know what they're trying to do me in or what, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, in your opinion, why would they pick you?
That's a good question, George. I don't know. I mean, I could speculate, but I'm not going to.
Okay. All right. And John, you have found, and thank you, Tom, for having the guts to share that story with us. You have found again that these people are picked randomly.
Pretty much randomly, George. And you asked the magic question, because every victim that's been exposed to this, the first thing that their friends ask them, that the police ask them, that their loved ones ask them, well, why you? You're a nobody. You're not the head of you're CEO of a big company. You're not the head of a corporation. You're not the head of state of anything. Why you? Well, that's exactly why. You target random, just everyday, run-of-the-mill people, just the bread and butter of the country, working class people, people that are just getting up, going about their business, doing their work and doing their job and trying to get by. Well, that in itself is discrediting, because everyone expects that if someone's going to spend the money to do this to somebody, they're going to do it to, a head of a corporation or somebody they can extort money from. That also says that this is experimentation, because they're doing it on people that they feel are expendable.
What if this is a test, John, in that, what if one day this shadow government wants to go after the Ahmadinejads of Iran, the Hugo Chavez's of Venezuela, the Fidel Castros, and they're using this kind of technology, so you can't physically get to the guy, but you sure can find out where he is and bombard him that way. Is that possible?
Well, it's probably already being done. If you remember at the beginning of the Iraq War, when they had the massive surrender, when all of those Iraqi soldiers basically surrendered with their weapons already taken apart, that was a silent spread sound spectrum weapon that they used to basically subliminally control those men into surrendering. At least that's what some evidence points to, and that's actually been in the news that that's what it was. So it is being used in that context. And who was the Honduran president, Zelaya, is claiming that he's heard voices and been attacked with directed energy.
Let's go to Lisa in Las Vegas, Nevada, west of the Rockies. Hello, Lisa.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, I hear so many negative stories, on the radio and just reading on the internet about negative, stories about people who get chipped. Well, there aren't enough chips. Do you ever hear any stories about that, positive ones, about people that get chipped?
I heard one story where somebody wandered off and they found him. That was it. He had Alzheimer's disease, and they had him chipped for identification.
Okay. Well, most states are trying to pass laws against that, even in the Alzheimer's patients, or a lot of states are now. But
what about people like, i.e., celebrities who are chipped? Anything about famous people?
I've never heard of anybody like that that's been chipped.
Seems like that would be the last person that would want to be trackable.
Yeah, TMZ chases that.
Hey, the question I had for the doctor is, I was kidnapped abroad, and I've done all the research myself, and been able to track down what they implanted me with, and it's in my 6th left rib behind my heart, and the antenna is in my spine, and I've tracked it down with a high-gain nonlinear junction evaluator, if you know what that is.
I have an idea, yeah.
What is it, Jeremy?
I don't want to be dropped, so I don't want to say exactly what it is, but it's a implantable infusion pump.
Okay.
And what it does is they have the infusion pump in your sixth rib, and they do a laminotomy on your spine, and they put a catheter over to your spine, and it's got the antenna goes down your spine.
How did they get this into you?
They did it through they put me to sleep, and it's a surgery that's called endoscopic surgery or something like this. It's through a needle, and the chip is it's not a chip, it's the infusion pump, like I said. It's as big as a wooden match.
Can you go and get it taken out?
The problem is that I've had lots and lots of MRIs, and the people that have done it, these are doctors who did it to me. They held me in a hospital, and the doctor who did it was her sister who did it abroad, and she's in the United States, and she teaches at a.
Well, yeah, but can't you go to some emergency room and have them take this out?
They don't believe me. No.
Won't it show up on an X-ray?
No, because it's in your rib.
All right, let's check with the expert here, Dr. John Hall. Have you heard of anything like this?
That's the first time I've heard of that one. Now, I've heard of them being implanted a lot of places. The problem is we usually can't find them. An MRI comes in several different forms of, strengths of Tesla. And you've got to have a 3.0 or better Tesla MRI to find a lot of these chips when they exist. And like I said, that's been the rarity. And most of the people we've examined and we've talked to that were convinced that they were chipped, we never could find the chips. And we're not doubting that what's happening to them is happening to them. But it seems in a lot of cases that maybe they're being led to believe that they're being chipped, or maybe that's their best way of understanding is that there's got to be a chip to be tracked, when indeed the technology as it is right now, that's not a necessity.
These people are under attack, aren't they, John?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable how many people are just coming forward talking about these things. It's more widespread maybe than you even believed.
Well, I was focusing initially on just, people that I was talking to here in the United States. But, over the last year or so, it's just been really a flood of people experiencing the same things in other countries, especially China. China has a large number of people that are somehow managing to get online and get on the Internet and figure out what's happening to them. And I would imagine that every major superpower has developed this technology. So
when we come back, John, we'll take final phone calls with you on Coast to Coast AM. My gosh.